I was not a villain. At least, I wasn't meant to be. But sometimes people carve you into something ugly, something twisted, and then wonder why you end up cutting them back. It started with whispers, those kinds that eat into your skin like acid. High school corridors are battlefields, and no one tells you how sharp gossip can be until it's your blood on the floor. My name was on everyone's tongue, but not in the way I wanted. They said I was manipulative, a liar, a thief of hearts. They said I ruined lives. The truth? I was just quiet, observant. I noticed what others didn't. I had secrets no one thought I could hold, but I never told them, never used them. Still, people hate what they can't control. The first strike came from Mia. Perfect Mia, with her glossy hair and perfect GPA, who smiled like the sun and stabbed like a knife. She started it, spreading that I'd hooked up with her boyfriend at some party. I hadn't even been at the party. I was at home, headphones blasting, scrolling through Tumblr like my life depended on it. But once Mia said it, it was truth, because people wanted to believe it. I confronted her once. Outside the cafeteria, she looked me dead in the eye, chewing her lip gloss, and said, "You just make it too easy." That was it. No explanation, no remorse, just the acknowledgement that I was preying and she was hunter, and she enjoyed the game. After that, friends evaporated. The group chats I lived in went silent. No one sat with me at lunch. Even my best friend, Arjun, drifted towards safer shores. "It's just temporary," he told me, his eyes darting to where Mia and her army of cheerleaders laughed. "Lay low." Lay low. Like I hadn't been laying low my whole life. But Mia didn't stop. Screenshots, fabricated, edited, circulated. Apparently, I was sending thirsty DMs to half the football team. Apparently, I stole notes from honor students. Apparently, I recorded people's secrets to blackmail them later. None of it was true, but truth doesn't trend. Screenshots do. And no one questioned them. Teachers started looking at me differently. Mr. Hale, my history teacher, asked me to stay behind one day, his face tight. "I don't know what's going on with you, but this behavior, it's not you." Behavior? He wouldn't even tell me what I'd supposedly done. I realized then I wasn't just losing friends. I was losing my name. I held it together for weeks until the homecoming night. I wasn't going to go, but Arjun begged. "Show up at least. Don't let them erase you." He tried to sound convincing, but his guilt leaked through. I went, dressed in black when everyone else shimmered in sequins and tux. I thought maybe, just maybe, being seen would remind people I was real. It didn't. The prank hit at midnight, when the lights dimmed and the DJ screamed something about a surprise. The projector screen flickered on, and there I was, blown up in 4K, in a video I never took. It was me, or some deep fake version of me, doing things that were impossible, humiliating, cruel. The room erupted. Some gasped, some laughed, some looked away, but the damage was done. I remember Mia's face in the crowd, glowing, triumphant. That's when something snapped. You know that moment in movies when the villain is born? They make it dramatic with thunder and lightning. Mine was quieter. It was like glass breaking in my chest, shards pressing outward, slicing something essential. I realized then, if they wanted me to be the villain, I could be. And I would be better at it than they ever imagined. The first person I turned to wasn't Mia. It was Arjun. He'd been slipping further away, and I needed to know. "Did you know?" I asked him the next day, cornering him in the empty library. His silence was louder than any answer. His guilt was written across his face. "He made me choose," he whispered finally. "It was easier." I didn't let him finish. Easier. I was his best friend, and it was easier to betray me. That was my turning point. I started small, quiet, the kind of revenge no one could trace. Passwords guessed, accounts hacked, secrets leaked, real ones this time. If I was going to burn, I'd drag them all with me. Mia's carefully crafted facade crumbled when I exposed her cheating on every test with stolen answer keys. The golden boy of the football team cried when his drug stash went public. Every laugh they'd ever had at my expense, I turned into their screams. The best part? They never suspected me. They thought I was too broken, too pathetic, too small. The villain always hides in plain sight after all. But power? Power is addictive. Each little victory fed me, made me bolder. It wasn't just revenge anymore. It was art. I became the ghost in their machines, the shadow in their halls. I was everywhere and nowhere, and for the first time in my life, people feared me. Fear tasted better than love. Fear couldn't betray you. Then came the night Mia confronted me. Not in public, but in private. Like she knew exactly who was pulling the strings. She showed up outside my house, her eyes wild, mascara smeared. You think you've won? You think you're better than me? You're just making everyone right. You are a psycho. I should have felt guilty. But I laughed. I actually laughed in her face. And that's when I saw it, the flicker of fear in her eyes. The queen was crumbling. And it was me who did it. But villains don't get happy endings. Arjun came back into the picture. He looked hollow, like the weight of everything was crushing him. "You've gone too far," he said to me. "People are scared. Someone's going to get hurt." I told him, "Good. Let them hurt, like I did." He shook his head, tears in his eyes. "That's not you. I don't know what you've become." That line stuck with me. I don't know what you've become. I thought I was controlling the chaos, but the truth? Chaos was controlling me. Rumors spun faster, darker. Some said I was dangerous, violent. Some said I'd threatened lives. I hadn't. But the line between what I'd done and what people believed was too thin to matter anymore. Teachers called meetings. Parents whispered. Police even got involved when one student claimed I'd sent them threats. I hadn't. Not that time. But it didn't matter. Because when you're already the villain, no one needs proof. The final act came one rainy evening when the principal called me into his office. My parents were there, pale and silent. On the desk were printouts, emails, messages, threats, all written in my name. Some of them were mine. Some of them weren't. Mia sat in the corner, her lips split, a bruise blossoming across her cheek. She looked at me with those same triumphant eyes from homecoming, except now they were rimmed with tears. She did this. She's dangerous. I hadn't touched her, but it didn't matter. The verdict was decided before I opened my mouth. Expulsion. A safety concern. My parents didn't even defend me. They just looked away. Walking out of that office, soaked in rain, I realized the cruelest twist of all. I had become exactly what they wanted me to be. I was the villain now. The story they told about me was real not because it was true, but because they believed it so deeply that I had no choice but to step into the role. And maybe, I liked it. Because when you're the villain, you don't have to beg for love. You don't have to crave acceptance. You don't have to break when people betray you. You just take, and you keep taking until there's nothing left for them to give. So no, I was not a villain, but they made one out of me. And the thing about villains, we always get the last word.